Hey there, so today we have another review. This is a beer courtesy of Mark, and this is Benjamin Danklin from Fat Heads. I'm going to chat a little bit about this, so please skip ahead if you can. So Benjamin Danklin, first off, the name is hilarious. Benjamin Franklin, blah, blah, blah. And they're really lacking on this one. You guys, I'll actually post it probably in the description below, but they got rid of the design they used to have. This honestly is actually really bad design. Like, it just says Benjamin Danklin has a key in the American flag. The original Benjamin Danklin. If you guys don't know, the Fat Heads logo looks a little bit like Benjamin Franklin on the $100 bill, right? Fat guy, balding, two chins, blah blah blah, and then they put him with the Morpheus glasses, with the Patriot kind of like 17, old school like U.S. independence hat kind of thing, and with the lightning bolt. It just looks so stupid. And then like just the name Benjamin Danklin is just like hilarious to me. Mike Shalau, who is the owner brewer at which is one of the premier saison breweries in the country, but also out of Chicago on the Beer Temple podcast, he dies thinking about that beer, the name of it, and I love it. It's just silly, and I like there's so many dumb names out there in beer, but like this one just hit, and then the design was just silly, and I loved it. So let's dig into this one. This is actually one of the few non-Mosaic IPAs I'm going to be trying from them. They just crushed with Mosaic, but obviously you have to switch around. So I believe this is Citra, Chinook, and Simcoe. This was very cold, by the way, because obviously I got the package. Was like, all right, I want to review a couple beers that were in the freezer, and then did a review, and then the other one sat in the freezer for a little bit longer, and then it sat a little bit too long. So now we have it warmed up quite nicely. So this looks like Headhunter, maybe a little bit more orangey and darker, medium gold color, a little bit of light chill haze to that, but looks fantastic. Oh, wow. Jesus Christ. So this is, I mean, even without the Mosaic in there, like, I just don't understand how they get the extra oomph. A good analogy is like, I work at restaurants, and you guys have been to restaurants before. You like, you walk by food and dishes of food, and like food smells good, right? Like you're hungry, like food smells great. But then you walk by like buffalo wings or like a plate of Indian food, right? Like that extra spice and oomph that you get, like you're like, ooh, right? Like you get that extra, like smoking barbecue, right? Like there's these flavors that you're sort of like, not that like food is not delicious. Like I love hamburgers, I love all kinds of food, but fresh bread smells great. But there's things that like just get like, that makes sense, right? Extra smoked barbecue, buffalo wings, Indian food, just things that have like an extra oomph of like unique flavor to them that does smell nice, and like, right, this just takes them to another level. So like it smells like an IPA, but then it's like, oh, that extra like, oof, man. It honestly smells almost like there's Mosaic in there. There's a nice piney, a little bit of green resin, solid amount of myrcene in there, a little bit of dank weed character. Yeah. I mean, they call it Benjamin Danklin, but it's really not that quote unquote dank. Like, there's definitely more dank beers out there, and you use of hemp products and all that other stuff too. But this here, it's like fruity too. It reminds me a little bit of Headhunter with a little bit of stone fruit, a little bit of melon, some tangerine, yellow citrus, grapefruit. Cheers. Yeah, this tastes very modern West Coast ish. Yeah, it's a modernish kind of IPA, right? It's lean, clean, a little bit soily. Full blind, I would have guessed this was out of like Seattle, Portland. Big pine up front, a little bit dankness, tree forest, pine, resin, spruce tips, a little bit of breadiness in the middle, medium to medium plus bitterness, dry for days, a little bit of that soily bitterness on the back end. Clean, delicious, a little bit of fruitiness. Grapefruit peel, white, like lightly melon character, maybe hint of white grape, but there's no southern hemisphere in here, so like a little bit of the kind of like pale fruit character. So I'm thinking like melon-ish, something like not honeydew, but like cantaloupe. Yeah, but yeah, piney, bitter. Yeah, this is definitely a little bit more dank. Like just sitting on the palate, it just comes off more dank and resiny than Headhunter. For me, Headhunter's complexity and its fruitiness, and the Mosaic character they get, like the Mosaic that Fatheads, I assume they have to be selecting their hops during the yield during picking season, right? So, but this is no mosaic, and it still has that extra oomph of aromatics, and whatever crops of hops are used. I'm sure they pick the crops on the hops on this one too. They're selecting hops on during harvest. So until next time, guys. Cheers. This beer from me gets a solid 97. Just fantastic. I mean, it's just if I had this all the time, like this would be one of my go-to IPAs. 98 plus, 98 plus. Benjamin Danklin. It's actually not that dank of a beer. Well, not all the way, but it's still pretty piney and like bitter, and but it tastes like Portland IPA. Yeah, yeah, for sure. And they just crush it. There's just years where breweries have really impressed me, and like it just has to be Fatheads this year. Like, and it's really a decent sized brewery, and it's crazy that like I get to try this delicious stuff. Thank you so much, Mark. Killer, amazing beer. 98. Cheers, later.